In this module, we discuss about emulsions and types of emulsions. Emulsions are colloidal solutions with both dispersed phase and dispersion medium being liquid. Hence, finely divided droplets of one liquid are dispersed in another liquid medium. Emulsions can be formed from any two immiscible liquids. Based on dispersed phase, emulsions classified into three types: oil in water emulsions, water in oil emulsions, and multiple emulsions. Based on size of liquid droplets, emulsions classified into two types: macroemulsions and microemulsions. In oil in water emulsions, the dispersed phase is oil. It is present in a small amount. The dispersion medium is water. It is present in a large amount. For example, milk is an emulsion of soluble fats in water. In water in oil emulsions, the dispersed phase is water. It is present in a small amount. The dispersion medium is oil. It is present in large amount. Butter and cold cream are examples for water in oil emulsions. Water in oil in water and oil in water in oil can be found in some cases. They are called multiple emulsions. Usually, multiple emulsions are more complex. It contains very small droplets suspended in a larger droplets that are also suspended in a continuous phase. For instance, the emulsions of water in oil in water consist of water droplets entrapped in bigger oil droplets that are sequentially suspended in a continuous water phase. Let us see the difference between oil in water emulsions and water in oil emulsions. In oil in water emulsions, oil droplets dispersed throughout the water. In water in oil emulsions, water droplets dispersed throughout the oil. The continuous phase of water in oil emulsion is oil, whereas the continuous phase of oil in water emulsion is water. To achieve the stability of water in oil emulsion, two or more emulsifiers are required. In the case of oil in water emulsion, only one emulsifier is required to achieve the stability. Water in oil emulsion is useful for the production of oil-based products such as cream and other oily moisturizers. Oil in water emulsions is useful in the production of water-based products such as sunscreen and makeup. Final preparation of both emulsions, oil in water and water in oil, looks the same in appearance with naked eyes. Therefore, certain tests are required to differentiate between them. It is also important that at least two tests should be performed to draw a final conclusion. In conductivity test, current is passed to an emulsion connected to an electric bulb. Electric bulb is connected to a pair of electrodes that are dipped into the emulsion. We know water conducts electricity. In oil in water emulsion, water is the dispersion medium. So electric bulb glow when the emulsion is of the oil in water type. Dye tests are conducted by mixing an emulsion with a water soluble dye, and the results are observed under a microscope. Amaranth dye cannot be used. It is a synthetic red dye and it is soluble in water. If the emulsion is oil in water type, then the dye will dissolve in it. The scattered globules appears red. In fluorescent test, emulsion is exposed to UV radiations. If the emulsion shows continuous fluorescence under microscope, then it is water in oil type. And if it shows only spotty fluorescence, then it is oil in water type. In cobalt chloride test, filter paper is soaked in cobalt chloride solution and it is dipped into an emulsion. Then it is dried. It turns from blue to pink. This indicates the emulsion is oil in water type. In dilution test, the emulsion is diluted either with oil or water. If the emulsion is oil in water type and it is diluted with water, it will remain stable as water is the dispersion medium. But if it is diluted with oil, the emulsion will break as oil and water, which are not miscible with each other. Oil in water emulsion can easily be diluted with an aqueous solvent, whereas water in oil emulsion can be diluted with a oily liquid.